who run Careth Children's Home, which is an orphanage and school, just faithfully ministering at that for many years now. And then Pastor Andrew, who's in Necesse 3. And Necesse 3 is a government-owned land that squatters just live in, put up huts and have created a little community there. And it is very poor, very bleak. And there in Necesse 3, he started Bethel Junior School and then Glory Land Church. And here he is in this community where there is so much poverty, so much fatherlessness, and he is making an impact and doing this feeding program where on Saturdays kids can come and get fed. We probably fed close to 1,000 kids. And some of the kids come with plastic bags because they fill that bag with rice that they will eat for the week until they show up the next week and get another bag of rice. Like, that's the type of poverty that we were in and got to work with and see what Pastor Andrew's doing. And the word that comes to mind with that is just faithful, because they've been doing this for many, many years and been in these communities where it is bleak, it is dismal, it is a tough situation, yet they are there with the light of the gospel and the truth of who Jesus is, and that changes lives. That truly does. And something Jeff Ford had talked to us about and just said, yeah, in the U.S. we talk about oh, how did that happen? Oh, God really provided here, and you kind of say, oh, what actually happened? And you can usually explain, something that happened and led to how we got in the U.S. And he said, Uganda, it's literally just faith. It's we prayed for it, it showed up, and we got it. And it's just a whole another reality in Uganda, in those communities where, yeah, prayer is sometimes one of the last resorts we go to here in the U.S., but that's the first thing they know to do and turn to. On Monday when we were in Uganda, they had, I think, a prayer or worship gathering, and we were working outside, and there's women on their knees just wailing in prayer on this night, and that's that just shows the faith that there is, that God's going to come through, or God can come through. And I think seeing stuff like that on our team, that expands your view of who God is. And God truly hears and answers prayers here in Uganda, and He do that in my life too. And that was something that I consider and could challenge us all with, is what does that look like for me to live faithfully here in the States? What does that look like for me to faithfully serve at my church, or faithfully be the only Christian in my workplace? Just what does it look like for me to faithfully live out the gospel every single day? And what does that look like to live a life of faithfulness for 5, 10, 20 years? And that reminds me of someone. You wouldn't have done this for yourself, I don't think, and you already thank the other people who make these trips happen, but that doesn't happen just on accident. People just don't get on planes from their college's football team and just ship out somewhere, and that stuff happens. That stuff gets coordinated, and it has been going for 20 years. Some of the freshmen weren't even born when this started, which is crazy, and that's just a testament to Coach Peltz and what he's been doing with WFMP, and testimony upon testimony of guys here can share of what WFMP has meant to them, and the transformation that it's caused in their life, and just the good that's brought. So I want to thank you for faithfully serving for 20 years, and thank you for
Rogers, I think you are singly responsible for the fact that these 6-passenger planes were not going to work out. They could not balance your weight. Experience 8 to 12-foot waves on a boat. Let me just say this, I appreciate your sharing a lot. Sometimes we have to pull teeth, but you guys are great, and I think we can keep going, but we have a highlight video of 6 trips, so we want to see that. But I tell you, when it comes to prayer, it reminds me of when we were in Haiti, and Grant Roscoviac, we're about a quarter mile away from the orphanage, and we're approaching, we hear this beautiful singing going on, and we come up and see Grant, and say, Grant, what's going on? And said one of the helpers, 3-year-old, has meningitis, and we can't drive him anywhere. We have no transportation, we have no medicine, and Mom and Dad are doing everything they know what to do, and that's pray. pray and sing to Jesus for healing. And so I said, can we go in? And the room was maybe the size of the small classroom upstairs in SRC. And so we crammed in there, about 20 of us, with mom and dad and the sister laying on the bed with her brother, who anytime he moved his head, he just started screaming and crying. And we prayed, and then we sort of awkwardly backed out, and we went on with the rest of our evening. And so the next morning we get up, and it is Sunday, and we're walking to the orphanage for breakfast. And you know, on our mind, the boy's name was Lay, and we're all wondering, I wonder how Lay is. And so we approach, literally stepping across into the orphanage, and there's Grant Roskoviak, our former player, and I said, everybody sort of said, how's Lay doing? Grant's like nonchalant, going, look for yourself, he's all dressed ready for church, running around with the rest of the kids. And we all just stop in our tracks going, whoa, the power of prayer. And then, well, I could go story on story. It just brings back a lot of memories over the 20 years, but God is still in business of doing miracles. He really is. Don't ever forget that. And, you know, I told you that, guys, this, and I'll end with this, and then we'll watch the highlight video. Man, if you're the ones being called to go, answer the call to go into ministry. Answer the call. What a great calling. Probably the highest calling someone could have. If you're the one blessed to make the money, and some of you guys will have the golden touch, make the money and send the guy, one of your teammates, send them out to go and serve. If you're the prayer warrior, be the prayer warrior for that person. If you're the encourager, there's all kinds of ways to encourage now, right? Technology, and you can even write a letter. Some of you guys may need help with that, but you can write a letter. All right? Also, what I think we're doing is being hands and feet. Come alongside and be the hands and feet of things that need to be done. The goal is to try and bring their ministry and the community closer together for the week that we're there, because then when we're done, that's still going on, and that's awesome. And that's the beauty of WFMP, and I love it. The seniors get up and do their senior share. I don't have to recruit. You guys tell the freshmen they got to go. And that was one of the highlights for me this year, since I missed most of the season. I didn't know hardly any of the freshmen. I knew the D linemen, sort of. And then, but I had 8 freshmen on my group that I got to know, and it was really good to do that. So, without further ado, we're going to watch Gavon first, because somehow there's a glitch and it doesn't get into the rest of the video. So we're going to watch them, and then we're going to watch what Phil put together here.